Hey, welcome to another episode. And I'm joined by Murise, Sam, Gents. What's happening?
What's up, brother? How you
Good
doing?
man, how you doing?
I know I'm great.
Good, gentlemen.
No, easy. Of course, we're having a cricket discussion. It's our second one. Hopefully this time around, it like the numbers, and people start paying more attention to the show. And so, guys, I'm not like when it comes to cricket, I'm not like as knowledgeable as you guys. Most of the information and my knowledge is from you, Sam. We used to chill at work. You used to tell me a lot of things. Last time we had an episode, Melissa, you said that you were scared that we might just get our asses whooped. I just want to ask you guys: did you guys have any expectations, though? Did you guys think we were gonna lose, or did you guys think maybe we're gonna, you know, have a shot nyana here and there, and make it difficult for them? What do you say?
Well, I at least thought we were going to be competitive. I mean, that was dismal, guys. That was horrific. And I think the worst thing for me is that, I'm a late sleeper and I literally slept late and watched the beginning of the game. By the time it was 1:30, it was like something like 23 for 2. I was like, guys, I'm going to bed. When I woke up at 8 o'clock, we were on 70 something for 7. I said, Chief, come on. Against New Zealand. And I know New Zealand are the world test champions. And I mean, it was going to be a hard test. They know the conditions, they're used to the
Yeah,
surface, this, that, the other. But I mean, it was a dismal performance all round. The
yeah.
batting was horrific. 95 all out. Take that in a test match for professional test cricket players. 95 all out.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Wow.
That's painful. When Sam Dunk, you seem like you expected this, like your facial expression.
No. I mean,
Hmm,
after the highs of like winning against India, I
yeah,
think all of us had a expectation that at least a fight.
yeah,
We know our test team isn't at a playing level yet where they can really compete, especially overseas.
yeah,
But at the very least, expect them to push it to like a day 4 or 5.
mm.
But to lose by an innings and 276 runs, nah, that's too much, bro. That's too much.
Yo, that's too much, guys. Yo, and to be honest with you, with the New Zealand players, bro, I only know a few of them, because I won't lie to you. I used to like be a huge Brendan McCullum fan. He was,
Yeah.
yeah, cover
Yeah.
cover drive specialist. Like I used to like that guy. So I'm familiar with the old school guys. Of course, I also know Tim Saudi because Saudi is, yeah,
Yeah.
that swing, man, is
Lethal.
crazy. And then this
Lethal.
new is this the guy Ubani, the new guy, the guy who had 7 wickets. Um,
Matt Henry.
yeah, man,
Henry.
the new guys like it's
He's
like maybe
pretty new.
yeah,
Man, he has how many caps? Let me just check how many caps he has won.
yeah,
And
yes,
that's probably made me even more upset because yes, he's new on the game. They don't know him, but experience is not there for this guy, guys.
yeah.
Compared to to the guys we have,
Mm,
it just didn't make sense for me how we played like that.
yeah,
It made no sense whatsoever. But
yeah,
it is what it is. I mean,
yeah.
he
He's
probably got his best from that. He's played 15 tests over the last couple, so
15.
he's been inconsistently in and out of
Yeah,
the playing field. And if you look at our lineup, the only two batsmen that I would have defended was Ervia and Hamza. Only because they need to come into the international playing field and get used to how we play on the international playing field. Markram disappointed us against India
oh,
played dismally again.
yeah,
Elgar,
Yeah.
I mentioned the last time when we spoke about we played India and we spoke. I said he's inconsistent. Did he not
yeah,
prove us right? You know, Someone like Temba Bavuma, the nice thing about Temba is he's always able to redeem himself. And honestly, this is not black versus white anymore. Like in the second innings, he tried. The challenge with Temba is he can only try to a certain point, which I don't like. I think he needs to try bat beyond his limit and test himself beyond and be a little bit more patient as well. You know, sometimes the way he goes out is a little bit too weak, and he's very experienced, and he needs to remember he's the vice captain. So him and Dean, the pressure's on them, and they need to be able to carry the team. But players like Aiden, Rassi on the test format has been dismal, dismal. And he redeems himself in the ODIs. Great, fantastic. But you know, this test arena is massive, and it's a world global playing field for test cricket right now. It's probably the most important form of cricket at the moment. And you need to perform at that level on that stage. And unfortunately, right now, we have nobody.
Yes. Damn, that's deep. Yo, that really
Yeah,
is deep.
I would say
Yeah,
like in the very same way we have T T
20.
20 players and coaches. Maybe we should be looking to like build a side where, because if you speak about Aiden, we know Aiden is like good in the short formats. We know Rasi is good in the short formats as well. Maybe build a test side that has test playing people that we know play tests only. Although you will have Temba come in there who can play all formats, KG, Lungi and stuff. But when it comes to the other half of the team, maybe have people who play tests only, because yeah, at the moment there's always question marks if someone doesn't perform. And when you look at the alternatives out there, you're like, but this is someone who was tried before, or it's always a new name. And if you're bringing in someone to make it his first appearance in conditions away, then expectations they really shouldn't be very high. Look at England. Ever since Strauss, Cook, they've been struggling to find an opening pair.
Yeah.
In the middle order for India as well, they've been struggling to find one. Australia for the longest of times failed to like really find a replacement for number three. So it's
Sam,
tough.
can I just challenge you there? And I'm sorry to cut you short. You know, I'm okay with that, and I guess that can be a work with progress. But if you look at England, they have a Joe Root who can come in and give them a 150. You know,
Hmm.
if you look at India, they have a Virat who's dropped form, yes, here and there, but they have a Virat. They have a sXizie. I don't know how to pronounce his name properly. They have a Rohit who's top of the order who can come in and give them 100 on the day, a 150 on the day, or even a 200. You look at New Zealand, they have Devon Conway, the South African, in fact, who
Hmm.
can come in and give them a 200 on the day. If you look at Australia, you have David Warner, who will easily give you a 90, who will easily give you a 150. We don't have that.
Yeah.
We don't have that. And I agree with you. Maybe we do need to build a test squad, but we also need to set up a consistent lineup. Why was Lungi not in the squad? We're playing world test champions. Why was Lungi not playing? Where
Yeah,
is the
that's
trust in our experienced bowlers?
yeah, that's a very solid point because I mean I think the new guy Steerman as well. I think that was like I was like it was my first time seeing him, and so in my mind
Yeah.
I'm like, at times it's confusing, especially if you're not really keeping up with the sport like constantly. You at times see new faces. And speaking about new faces, guys, do you guys think we missed Keegan in this test?
Oh, without a doubt. Oh,
Definitely,
We
yeah.
without
have
a
made
given
that
doubt,
difference
man.
with him. Yeah. Ish.
Man, we even missing someone like Quinny, who isn't even a test batsman, because Quinny
And
would come in and give us a good 36, a good 40 here and there at number 7. And if the top order had batted and played to a good 250, then you're going to finish at least on 280, close to 300, which is a challenging score. Yes, New Zealand by far beat that score, got 482 all out, which is fine. But had we posted a 350, the mindset of New Zealand also changes. You have, I was really upset with how KG even bowled. He's well experienced, well rounded, brilliant bowler, fantastic cricketer, but he cannot hit his areas. How many extra balls did he give them? I mean, 5 no balls.
I think 5 no
5
balls,
no
yeah.
balls in
Yeah.
one inning. 5 no balls. I mean, surely we had the same issue when we played India with his no balls. Are they not? Is Shah Langerfeld the right, bowling coach to be able to show him that, Chief, your run-up must start here so that you're able to land in the right areas, but at the same time, hit the ball in the right areas. Did we not learn from when New Zealand was bowling where we should target? Which spots, which areas we should try hit in order to get them to play. I mean, you can't tell me Matt Henry is a better bowler than KG, than Lungi,
See,
than Marco
yeah.
Jansen. None of that. But none of them hit the right areas. Dwayne Olivier, I'm happy to see him back. He's a phenomenal bowler as well. Gets swing. But we're not hitting the right areas on that surface. And for the experience someone like KG has, he should lead from the front now. He's not young anymore.
That's so true. That's so true. When I signed pro, like your take on Keegan not of course being there.
Yeah, obviously it was a miss because of his performance against India, and I think he looks solid at number 3. But you know what? It's this has been going on for years, where batting is a really, really big concern. We have never posted like the 300 scores in a long time. Every time you watch a test match, every time you watch an SA test match, by 100 runs, we are always down 4 or 5, which is a problem. So our batting coach and our bowling coach in this case, when you now throw in KG and his no balls and his extras, there's something wrong there. But surely our batting coach, I don't even know if we do have a batting coach, he's still a batting consultant. But yeah, there's something wrong because consistently we have been failing to score runs.
Yeah.
We've just been
Or our
failing.
coaching staff overall. I mean, there's just so much around them, which is probably, again, a big topic that has been in the media, which I feel is an excuse as well, where they're speaking about the mentality of the players based on what's happening with the coach. But, if you're a professional coach at that level with everything surrounding you, you've got to put the best interest of the teams first. And in my opinion, Mark Boucher should have stayed home for this test.
Yeah, no. That's a very, strong point there, Moody said. But yeah, man, like another thing as well, guys, with me, the fielding as well, guys. Can we also discuss that? Because
Horrendous.
I've never seen us. Dog, it was as if it was me who was fielding dead, dog.
Chief, you could have played better, X. I'm telling you,
I suck at
you
cricket,
could have
dog.
caught. You would have
But
caught.
the thing is, yeah, dog, like, man, some of the catches that were missed, man, and that was, I think, there's an overweight KG. Like, I think they dropped 2 of his balls, dog, and it was basic catches that you could, like, any world class. I mean, I feel like our players are like the standard at least, dog, when it comes to fielding. We know how to catch the ball, blah. Guys,
it's in our DNA, X. It's in our DNA. Well, that's what I thought, but yeah, man.
Yes, I don't.
Yeah, but then I don't think we got anything right. Yes, sir.
Yes,
yeah. I mean, if we are complaining about batting, if we're complaining about bowling, and I saw those like failed like catches, and now we're complaining about fielding. Basically, we are complaining about everything.
Everything.
the game of cricket.
Exactly. So like I don't understand like what needs to be changed. But I mean the mark of a good team is always going away and at least putting up a fight, because those are not conditions that you are, used to. And at the very least, I think at the beginning of the podcast we were saying all we wanted to see was a bit of fight. Like you were saying, if they posted like 350, maybe, that's something. But 90 fucking 5.
Yeah, Chief, and then 111. We redeem ourselves.
Nelson.
I mean,
Nelson
come
on the
guys. 111 after they scored 482. Do you understand that we scored 206 runs? 200. That's less than half of what they scored in one inning.
What inning?
We scored over 2 innings.
Hey,
And we
what's
call
the-
ourselves professional cricketers.
And what's this thing about letting a number 10, batsman score 50?
I was
He ain't
about
even
to
dealing with
mention
it.
that. Like
You
I was
know,
about
you-
to hit
yeah.
on that because Modisa last week, last episode rather,
Yeah.
you mentioned that we don't have depth in our batting.
Exactly. And it exposes us in every test match we play.
Yeah.
We don't have a batsman. I thought we were building KG to become that guy at some
I also
point.
thought
At some
that,
point, KG was coming along well with his batting, sorry. And I think they've neglected that quite a bit because I think he's got the potential. For me, KG's an all-rounded, natural, talented cricket player. He can bat decently, he can bowl. I guess he just needs to be trained a bit more on being patient, on hitting the right balls, waiting for the right delivery, identifying the right delivery, etc. And I'm no professional coach myself, but it exposes us over and over and over again where we have a number 8 coming in scoring 50, 60, where we have a number 9 coming in scoring 30, where we have a number 10 coming in and we're struggling to bowl them out. And with us, once you get to number 8, it's over. And we call Marco Jansen an all-rounder. It's done. For me, if I'm watching cricket at any point, even if it's T20, and I see Lungingidi in, and I see Tabriz Shamsi in, I know we've lost the game. If we're chasing, we've lost the game. There's no hope. There's no hope. Maybe if KG comes in and it's a T20 game, he'll hit a 6 or 2 and at least reduce the score. But if you see Heinrich Nokia come in, if you see Lungingidi come in, if you see Tabriz Shamsi come in, it's over. It's game over. We are not going to win that game. And that's what we need. We need depth. We need depth. And we don't have that. We're also missing an Heinrich Nokia in these series, all of them. I mean, that guy's pace is world class in all formats of the game. He bowls the right lines. He usually hits the right area, gets the right amount of spin, but he's a fearless. Every batsman fears that guy. I mean, he's bowling 150 k's an hour. Chief. I mean, you think of you driving your car at 150, but the ball is coming less than 100 meters, and it's coming at 150 and it's a bounce on your head. Surely we miss lethal bowling like that, and it's time he recovers and stop being injured so he can play a lot more, man. Yes. Yeah, so we're in big trouble. We need to change the entire system. CSA needs to fix itself. Before we know it, we're going to be playing for island level UAE trying to qualify for World Cups. Aye, chief. No, man, we need consistency.
Dude,
Man, we need.
Yeah.
Who heard? Sorry, Sam. Did you hear what Dean Elgar said post-match? He said, "Abram Markram tries too hard." Dude, you scored 2 runs.
Exactly.
2.
Wow. The nerve, the audacity, though.
You're captain. Let's not forget that you're captain. You scored 2 runs and you're saying your number 3 is trying too hard. First of all, for consistency, why didn't he open with Markram? They should have an understanding by now, right? Why are we changing the system? Ervia should have come in 3rd because that's the direct position play replacement we needed. In fact, for me, Hamza should have come in at 3, for me, personally. And then you have Temba at 4, maybe you have Ervia at 5. I've never seen him play much in domestic cricket, so I can't really speak about him much, but I would have set it up like that. We need a little bit of consistency. Now we're changing who's opening. We're bringing in Aiden at 3 when we know 3 is a critical position that needs to stabilize the team. And Aiden is completely out of form. Completely. A lot needs to change, gents. A lot needs to change in our cricket, in our test cricket arena. And I mean, we've got the T20 World Cup win in October. We're going to come back again.
Yeah, and then guys, do you guys think we'll level the series though? Do you guys think there's any hope? Because I mean, against India, didn't we pull a similar stunt where first test were awful, horrendous. Then all of a sudden, how? What's going on here? And do you think that that will most probably happen, or
I
it's
think India were a victim of the fact that we like drew them into our level. And when I say that, I mean we like bowled them out for a cheap score. So we could
yeah,
always compete, right? But for sure, if New Zealand scores 350 going above, we are not competing. It's
yeah,
unfortunate to say, but that's just how I see it. Another
yeah,
thing is there wasn't any like game for us to like have a whole practice game where you play against a New Zealand A team or anything for us to
yeah,
assess conditions. So at the very least, you would expect that the team isn't scoring low, scores anymore. But I have no faith at this point in time. But also just because New Zealand is also a very, strong, team. From Tom Latham, Kane Williamson, I think he should be back. I don't know if he will be playing, but even the bowling, Bolt wasn't there, but Wagner, Kali Jameson, Tim Southey, Henry, like it's a solid squad which always has people coming in and out, but it rarely changes.
yeah,
In India went there. Was it last year? And they lost the same. It was also like a terrible loss. So I'm not expecting us to win there. Um, More of the same in terms of us losing, but hopefully by a smaller margin. Because this losing by an innings run is yeah too much.
yeah. It's
Too
too
much.
much. Yeah, it's too much. And then what do you say?
We're not coming back.
Alright,
We are
guys.
not coming back. And I'll tell you why, Chief. We had a number 11, Matt Henry, the same guy who got 7 wickets, score 58.
Mm.
Which means that even if we get them at 115 for 7, they could still score 300. And if they score 300, it's over for us. And once we start batting, if you get Alga, if you
Yeah,
get Markram, if you get Temba, if you get Hamza, if you get Arvia, which is 5 batsmen of the 11 players, it's game over. And, based on the conditions, based on the fact that, we are playing an inconsistent team, we don't even know how our batting lineup looks as things stand. Definitely, without a doubt, for me, if none of our top 5 batsmen score at least 150, not even 100, it's a
Mm.
game, it's series over for us. And bear in mind, we've never lost a series in New Zealand.
we've
Mm.
Bear
never.
that in mind.
Yeah.
We've never lost a test series in New Zealand. And
Dang.
what makes it more painful is Kane Williamson, the most experienced and probably for
Yeah,
me, the best batsman in test cricket. Between him and Joe Root, there's a little bit of a debate. Wasn't there. Who's this guy that just retired from New Zealand now? What's his name, man?
Taylor.
Him.
Taylor Ross.
Ross
Ross
Taylor.
Taylor.
Yeah, Ross Taylor.
He wasn't there, an experienced batsman, this, that, the other. But what makes it painful is you have Colin de Grande, or however you pronounce his surname, who's a bowler scoring 45. You have
Yeah.
Matt Henry, who's a bowler scoring 58. We're in trouble here, gents. And sorry, I saw Sitler's comment there where he asked,
Yeah.
when is Aiden getting dropped? That's a
Yeah.
very good question, because Temba had the same run of performances. What happened to him?
Yo.
That's all I'm saying.
Damn.
And the worst thing about Aiden, guys, is Aiden's way of getting dropped is being pushed down the batting order.
Yeah.
And it frustrates me because he's had this run before. And all they did was move him from opening to number 2, to number 3, to number 4, to number 5. That was it. Then they let him bowl here and there. Okay, he got us 2 wickets.
2
Great, well
wickets.
done.
Yeah.
Wow, fantastic. We could have just played Maharaj, guys. Let's be honest. We could have just played Maharaj, who's a spin bowler. That's what he's known for. He's a spin bowler, and Maharaj can score you runs. He scored more runs than Makram in the previous series.
Yeah.
So, for me personally, it's time we drop him, man, and we bring in a lot more guys in the domestic team. Look what Keegan did in the last series. So, yeah.
Yeah, because even with me, guys, continuity. I mean, you just mentioned now, Ross Taylor, experienced batsman, retired. And then they've got a replacement already, you know. It's not like now they have to, it doesn't take long for them to find a suitable player who can come in and play international cricket, you know. And it's as if in SA we are experiencing a slump, and like as far as cricket is concerned, bro. I think, you know, if you look 10 years back, we're still chokers in World Cups, but man, New Zealand was never an issue, bro. Like you'd want to play against New Zealand. But now, bro, it's now different, bro. It's as if this is rugby now. Like you don't want to play against the All Blacks and shit like that. So for me, that's what scares me the most, man. It's that we're regressing, yeah.
Can I just mention, did Sam or even X,
Yeah.
did you guys watch the last Ashes
Nah.
and
Yep.
see what Australia did to England? They
Yeah.
demolished them. So, you know, we're saying New Zealand are the World Test champions and they demolishing us like that. We were so lucky against India. Okay, we won. Let me not say lucky. We played pretty decently, I would say. Not the greatest form of cricket, but decently. Once we start challenging the likes of Australia and playing them, who have a Cameron Green, who I was very impressed with in that series, who's an all-rounder, who's a lethal bowler, we're in trouble with this team. And you speak about grooming, and I can already tell you now, there's players like Vian Mulder who already know that they're going to play for the Proteas, though they've been given several opportunities and haven't been performing. It's the truth. They already know that they're going to be part of the squad. Vian Mulder is going to be the first player that they write to his name down on that test lineup, on that ODI lineup at some point in his playing career, because he's been set up for that. He hasn't been performing. Why do we do that? Kyle Verreynne is the current wicketkeeper. Okay, sharp, he had a decent knock, but he's known for the longest of time that he's going to replace Quinny. Does that give a fair opportunity to everybody else that plays domestic cricket? Where's Kaya Zondo?
Bro.
If any of you have watched Kaya Zondo bat, you can't tell me that he can't make this team.
Yeah, true. I think
yeah.
when you have a phase and you go through like a period where you have super players like we, you know, had. When you're talking numbers, you can't really compare Smith's, you know, Callis with anyone else, even AB himself, whether he was a master in the shorter formats. He always knew how to play the test as well. So that's another thing, is like continuity is hard from like that view, in the sense that you can't really take someone in whilst AB is still playing. But at the same time, I do believe that you need to be like blooding people in. So if it's at least one, you know, player coming in, and you were speaking about the Ashes, they had 5, you know, tests, and they used different bowlers. Boland came in another game. Richardson came in another game. So you can see that for the different conditions that they were, you know, playing, they could blood in someone into the team. And I think that's what we also need to be doing. The unfortunate thing about sport at the highest level, though, is time isn't on your side. So if you are in a losing team, it's very difficult to give you time. But the fairest thing to actually do in sport at the highest level is to give someone time if you know someone has enough, you know, talent. And when you're playing in a team which is not performing like our cricket team, and then it becomes harder, because every time we're like, the team is losing and you are coming into the team and keep getting opportunities and you aren't doing well. And I'm not saying Aiden shouldn't be, you know, dropped. I think there are certain players now who have been given a fair amount of opportunities. But I also read an article speaking about domestic cricket in the CSA
T20
you know,
challenge.
20 challenge. There were dropped catches as well, but there was like a very high number of it. And
120.
yeah, so
I remember
it
it.
was 100
Oh.
something. I was just thinking, like, was it 100? I'm like, nah, let me
120.
That's a
No,
lot.
120. I saw it.
so
Yeah.
so it is concerning for me as well to say our pool or where we are supposed to be drawing players from, I'm worried about the actual quality there as well. To say, are we grooming people who? Because at the end of the day, we look at Conway, Labuschagne, and we're like, shit, these
Dude,
guys are SA born players.
Guys,
You
those are South
Archie,
Africans. It makes me mad.
Yeah,
dude.
but the truth
Hey,
is, you look
going
at how they have elevated elsewhere and playing in competing leagues and everything, and maybe it dials back to our conversation about CSA in terms of how they are structuring things. What kind of pitches are you preparing for domestic teams when they play? Because that's another thing. It's like you also try and simulate different types of conditions, because our quality and our level at the lower level, it's very tough. That's why you hear someone has got an average of like 60, but when he comes into international level, faces Team Saudi,
Hey,
Agan, it's zero. So it's tough. It's tough.
Tim Souther will chow you.
oh my God, child. In
Tim
the
Souther
second
will
innings,
eat you.
in the second
You-
innings, he reminded us, bro, of his quality.
And you know what? I was actually glad Trent Bolt wasn't playing. And
Yeah.
personally, I was never a
Imagine.
fan of Trent Bolt. I was never a fan. I didn't like
Really?
that guy. I don't know why. No, I didn't like him. I don't
That
know why.
swing, man.
And then I'm a Delhi Capitals fan for the IPL, but I think I'm
Oh,
going to change now. I'm going to change now. Nah. And then he played us, and he played Mumbai. He played for Mumbai Indians.
in Mumbai, yeah.
That's when I saw that Trent Bolt is some other one, man. You can't,
Dangerous.
but not to derail. I mean,
yeah.
why did we let Martinez go? Why didn't we see his talent early enough to be able to see that this is the future? Nicholas Wagner, Devon Conway, these guys all started their cricketing careers here at home in South Africa, where we are.
KP.
And
Mm.
he can stay there. He can stay there. He was brilliant, but
I'm talking about
I don't
talent,
like.
man.
Aye,
Hey,
man,
I'm
he's a
just talking
nonsense
about
guy.
cricket talent here.
Okay, cricket talent, yeah, sharp. Okay, KP.
Yeah.
We're
But
not talking about
personal
coaching.
talent,
Okay, I know.
he can stay there. And for me, if I look at our cricketers right now in all three formats, for me, the only standout players would be KG, who can make any lineup in the world, would be Quinny, who can probably make any lineup in the world, maybe Timber, maybe Timber, Other than that, you'll have Rassi, who will only play T20s or ODIs. That's it. Markram might not even make any team at all. I don't think Dean Alga would have been a professional cricketer in England. Marco Jansen, yes, definitely would have made it anywhere else in the world. But it's like what you're saying, our grassroots are wrong. And maybe it's because we are looking only in certain areas. And I want to link it to the Springboks.
Mhm.
Who was the first rugby player in the world, in history of rugby, of world rugby, to score a try in a World Cup final? Makazola Mapimpi. Where does he come from?
Eastern Cape, bro.
That's where the talent is. He's probably the most. His situation was probably one of privilege, as Rassi said in that series, right?
Yeah.
Because how he came up was difficult, but he was talented. He just had the talent. Him, Lucanio you look at them, it's pure talent. But they probably had the higher chance of not even making it to that platform than you had Jesse Grill, who isn't the greatest rugby player, for me. So that for me, I think we need to broaden our scouting spaces a little bit more, and even start looking outside, so that we don't lose our top talented cricketers, to the Australias of this world, where we know a lot of our guys have relocated to. That's number one. Number two, we really need to look into the coaching, man. Are we investing in the right coaches? Why do we have, former world-class cricketers like Makai Antini not coaching anywhere? He had to go to Zimbabwe, and we spoke about this the last time, to get a stint at coaching. We've got Elviro Peterson, who we need to rope in. Those guys played pretty decent Test cricket. We have Hashim Amla on Supersport. Come on, that guy He scored the fastest 1,000, 10,000, or was it 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, and 5,000 ODI runs. The most in the world. He's well respected. Why don't we have him anywhere? Why don't we do what India's doing now and bring back somebody like Faf, I know he's retired from Test cricket, but that experience sort of like, you sort of like phase in, the guys that are coming up. Now Faf retired and we just scrapped him and said we're moving on. Our approach is completely wrong in how we're doing this whole cricket thing from the domestic cricket ranks, because none of us, I can assure you, none of us sit and watch domestic cricket. We watch PSL. We watch PSL, not domestic cricket. Exactly. And we only focus on the international stage. And that should say a lot.
Yeah. No, that's so true. That's so true, man. I know, guys. Feel like we've come to the end. Thank you so much for availing yourselves. This was a very informative episode. Guys, you guys stay schooling me when it comes to this cricket topic, And of course, I'm also a fan of cricket, So I've also been taking the time to watch the Proteas do their thing, But I'm hopeful, I think we might just sucker punch them out. Our fielding will improve. Rabada, will start hitting his lines the way. Who's this guy? Tim Saudi was hitting his, and yes, it's about grand, guys. Let's be hopeful, guys. Let's be hopeful.
Just one last thing before we go. We'll catch up next week, Thursday. I believe they'll be done. If not Wednesday or Monday, it depends. We'll see how they play. But, can the boys just do it for Makado, guys? Can they just do it for Ricky Rick, man?
Yeah,
that's it. I don't know if you watch cricket, but can they just do something for him, please?
Yeah, no doubt. I know, gents. Champions League, we winning, we beating Atletico Madrid 5-0. Yeah, that's what.
Ex, are you scared? Are you scared? Are you scared, my brother? Are you scared?
Yeah, I'm scared.
Hey,
there's a lot of pressure because I've got another show tomorrow, bro. So yeah, it's gonna be ish. And I'm gonna be the only United fan, so they better not disappoint me. But guys, see you all. Peace out.
Cheers.
Cheers.